his jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting.
I'm telling you, this version of Tank is gonna be dangerous, bruh. If you know about boxing, come on, it is GervontaDavis.
Floyd, I was throwing him. He always been.
GervontaDavis lashed out at Floyd Mayweather after finding out he was training Lamont Roach. Davis said Floyd always puts him in situations where he can't win either way. The results of Floyd's training are obvious. Roach now shows fast footwork, sharp combos, and tight defense, proving he's locked in and ready for battle.
You gonna get you. I see that. Help me. I know where something gonna go. I go that way for a reason. You was gonna get older. You was gonna get older.
Since the start of his career, GervontaDavis has felt controlled and sidelined by Floyd Mayweather. What started out looking like mentorship slowly turned into control. People close to the situation noticed how Floyd often made choices that kept Davis from being fully independent. Instead of letting him build his own legacy, Mayweather seemed to be shaping him into a version of himself while keeping him in his shadow.
Adrian had the weigh-in. So from his weigh-in, they meet us at the food spot. So from there, we go to the gym. So remind you, they already got this set up. Floyd already got it set up. He already posted on Instagram. It probably was like 100 people in there, and he turned the heat up. That's what Floyd do. He turned the heat up in the gym while you in there. So he turned the heat up. Boom. We spar, but while we sparring, Floyd is in the ring. Like every time I'm punching, Floyd like grab my hand, like yank it back. Where so I can't even punch Devin. So it was times that like I catch Devin, boom, or I'm about to swing and Floyd like yank my hand back, or he'll push me to the ropes. Like he was actually like touching me while we was sparring. Like
why?
Cause it was like Devin was his guy. Cause Devin was training at his gym at the time. So, and he was training with his father. So Devin was on. Floyd was on Devin's side.
Sounds
so
like
that's
a conspiracy to me.
Yeah, but later down the line, probably about like a couple months. No, this was recently. Not recently, but probably like 2 years ago. I asked Devin to like come to like spar me. He was like, "No, I ain't no sparring partner." I had somebody hit him up that was close.
Davis shared how, during sparring with Devin Haney, Mayweather would always interrupt at key moments. Every time Davis started landing clean shots or gaining the upper hand, Floyd would stop the session. It made it seem like Haney was being favored. Davis felt like he wasn't allowed to shine even in closed-door sessions meant for growth. This kind of interference made him feel like he was being held back by the very man who was supposed to guide him.
Floyd, I was doing him. He always been like that. You know what I mean? So I gotta focus on what I'm focused on. He already did what he had to do, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Me, if I did what I like what he did in the sport, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be the same way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't fault him for like stand to himself and things like that. You know what I mean? But it's also a part of me type thing, like come back and help too. You know what I mean? So there's much love to the whole Mayweather promotion. You know what I mean? Ain't no bad blood type shit. And a lot of people think like when I be tweeting on Instagram, I be mad. I just be talking.
Eventually, Davis began to see their relationship as less of a team and more of a setup controlled by Mayweather. He realized Floyd was always making the key decisions, keeping all the power in his hands. Whether it was picking opponents or managing public image, Mayweather stayed in charge. That made Davis question the trust between them. And over time, that trust faded.
First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. Why the say Terrence Crawford should fight? Finna be there. It don't make no fucking sense. You don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you.
You're next in line. This is next in line.
Is there like
The last question, guys.
Is there like a love-hate like
yeah.
fighter?
Yeah, I love the fighter. Like, I ain't gonna lie, if he was like chill, like he'll be the smoothest. But he's not. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter. And my bad. And
you're good, man.
And he cause I don't want to say like he's just a scumbag, but it's like he's a great fighter, and sometimes he can be good, but it's like it's always I'm this.
Davis hasn't been shy about calling out Mayweather's ego. He believes Floyd struggles to celebrate anyone else's success. Davis thinks this ego is a big reason why Floyd was reluctant to support a rematch with Roach, instead of doing what was best for Davis's career. Floyd seemed more worried about being overshadowed by someone he helped promote.
You know, so I don't want Tank to necessarily leave Mayweather. I think he's in this position because of everything that Mayweather and Leonard LB have done for him. So I do want him to do what he is saying. Take control of your career. Say that you want Shakur and actually fight Shakur. Say that you want Devin and actually fight Devin. You know, fight these guys. Don't keep making new names. Like, you gave Barrios a chance. You gave Isaac a chance. Like, you know, Gamboa, like, those aren't the fights that we want.
The breakup between Davis and Mayweather Promotions wasn't calm, it was loud and full of drama. There were public arguments, subtle jabs, and fights over who had control. Davis wanted more say and honesty, but Floyd didn't want to let go of power. Their split showed just how broken things were and confirmed for fans that the relationship had gone bad long before it ended.
When Floyd left Bob Arum, it's good for them to do it and become their own boss. And then if another guy does it, it's not good for the sport. He's disloyal. And what's wrong with Tank saying he want to be his own boss? And honestly, I've been there. The relationship between them two is very toxic. It's a toxic relationship. It's up and down and up and down. And I'm not gonna elaborate to everything that I know, but it's a very toxic relationship. And that's why when I tweet stuff, I don't tweet often, but when I tweet, I may fire off 50 tweets in the day. And that's why when I tweeted certain things about the relationship, Tank retweeted it because he knows. Like, I'm not just gonna say what it is. It's a very toxic relationship. It's back and forth. And I think it will serve him best to go and be his own boss.
There have been problems for a while, from arguments about opponents to different views on training. Behind the scenes, Davis and Mayweather often clashed. Floyd would question Davis's choices, including his decision to fight Roach again. But now, Davis's intense training for the rematch has even impressed his critics, Floyd included. Davis knows what's on the line this time. Another loss could hurt his reputation far more than the first one did.
So the Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach rematch is being targeted for June 21st in Las Vegas. Now, it's good that they're running it back without wasting any time, because Roach absolutely deserves a rematch. I mean, I thought he outboxed Tank the last time around. He came up a division as a gigantic 10-1 underdog, and he was the one on the front foot, you know, landing his jab, the body shots, the combinations, throwing a lot more volume. You know, I had it 7-5 Roach, and the no knockdown in round 9 was the reason it was a draw. If that knockdown was scored, that would have been a decision for Roach. But with all that being said, I do like Tank a lot more in the rematch. I thought he fought way too much on the back foot in the first fight, especially the first few rounds. He would land 1 or 2 punches per round, but as he started becoming the aggressor in the later rounds, he kept landing a lot more left hands and body shots. You know, so Tank just needs to make this a dogfight, get into more exchanges, and that's where he'll land a lot more punches on Roach. When he's sitting on the back foot waiting for a counter, that's where Roach is comfortable and winning most of the rounds. So if Tank can fight the same way he did against Ryan Garcia, you know, rounds 3 to 7, against Mario Barrios in the later rounds, or Frank Martin rounds 4 to 8, if he's the one on the front foot, then I do think he'll stop Roach in the rematch.
The excitement around the rematch is sky high. Fans and experts are eager to see how both fighters come into the second fight. The first match left too many questions unanswered. With Las Vegas likely hosting it, people feel this bout will finally settle the score and make it clear where both men stand in the sport.
You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? That is it. Lamont, please say that in the second fight. Any questions? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, don't hey, you got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, hey, bro, be on that. Because here's the thing. He never hurt Roach. Roach just waited. And Roach was squared up and turned sideways. And I'm like, oh my God. I didn't think he had that. He was like, I'm like, oh my. And then he just sitting there like, you can't. I know what you're going to do because I've trained with you since we were kids. Tarver beat Roy, but he knew Roy since amateurs. Roy said he never liked fight sparring partners because they know you so well. I should have listened to Roy.
In their first fight, Roach surprised everyone by pushing Davis to the edge. It wasn't just a close call, it was eye-opening. Roach found weak spots in Davis's defense and made people wonder if Davis was still improving or starting to slip. Now, the rematch is more than just another fight, it's a major test. Davis needs a strong win to prove himself again, while Roach could move up to elite level with a victory.
Shout out to my man Lamont.
All right, so you sparred Lamont Roach in preparation for his bout with GervontaDavis. First, what did you think of the fight?
What did I think of the fight? It's a little different for me because it's definitely a point of bias there.
Wait, let me put out a disclaimer. He's from Baltimore.
Definitely, I mean, East Baltimore all day. But I'm looking at it from a point of bias because his dad, you know, Ben Johnson Sr. and all them guys that was down there, the coaches Tim and everything like that, they all good people. So I got to know them on a more personal level. And then I get to see like how hard a world champion works. And not only that, to see how he treated his people. So I was going for him just off of personality alone, but everything else, he made me believe in Kent for real. Because me and him like have similar personalities. You know what I mean? As far as the ring, you know what I mean? So everything we was ready for, like talking shit and everything like that, because that was coming from me, you know what I'm saying? Me and Lamont, so everything was just everything for real. I think he should have won too, you know what I'm saying? But actually when I was there, I thought they actually was gonna like rob, you know what I mean? But you can't, you know what I mean? You can't deceive the people that's there for what they saying for real.
So you felt like he should have got the nod.
Absolutely. Especially with all the other controversy too. It should have been overturned, but we know how boxing works, but nah, I mean, we running it back for a reason, you know what I'm saying?
Did that teach you a lot?
Davis's team knows Roach isn't easy to beat. His trainer has praised Roach's smart boxing and toughness. Still, they're confident that Davis only needs a few small changes to perform much better. They believe the close first fight happened because of mistakes, not because Roach is more skilled. This time, they're aiming for a clear and convincing win.
Surprised by Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise. Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, they don't exist. There's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity. You know?
What's the difference makers coming into this fight?
The first fight, I thought, you know, everybody thought the little one. We just got to turn, you know, hit the gears a little harder. You know, we ain't really got to change too much. Just got to put the icing on the cake, you know? Put the icing on the cake this time, that's all. He did enough to win the last fight, but we was in somebody else's territory, you know?
This time around, being in Florida, do you feel like it's a mutual zone?
Yeah. It's more of an even playing field in Florida.
Okay. Do you feel like he needs a stoppage to win the fight due to what happened the first time?
Not necessarily. A stoppage is good, but not necessarily. You just gotta put...
Teofimo Lopez said Davis felt alone after the fight. Many in boxing started to distance themselves when the criticism rolled in. People who once praised Davis began doubting him. That change hit hard and showed just how quickly support can vanish in boxing when results don't match expectations.
I know a lot of people, look what they did with Gervonta too. I want everybody, all these young fighters that are listening to this, and you could clip this. It's a short part right here.
I got you.
To Ryan could clip this right here. So all you young fighters, look at the amount of love they were giving and sharing to Gervonta Tank Davis prior to the fight. Look at what all the reporters were doing prior to the fight. Look how they were all laughing at all his jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting to down this man. Down him. See, I'm gonna talk my smack with Tank, but that's because I want to fight him. That's me. I can say that. But I just want all you young fighters to really look about it. They don't care about us.
Yeah.
They won't ever care about us. When you winning, they gonna be there. But they waiting for any moment to slip up. Just a man, even a draw. Look how much hate he got out of it.
Yeah, not to get deep, but you know, it's a part of our psychology. We have to learn how to care about other people. You know what I mean?
During the time of the first bout, Davis was struggling mentally and physically. He admitted he wasn't fully focused, and his body wasn't in top shape either. He even thought about getting therapy or leaving boxing altogether. The rematch now gives him a chance to return with a clear mind, better health, and his full fighting ability.
He wants to do therapy. He wants to do real estate. They want to say he wasn't all in because him and Roach are friends, and he's going to be focused for the second fight. A lot of excuses. They want to say it's because of the braids, the oil getting in his eye. Whatever. This is what really happened. And I just now came to this conclusion because I've been making some other videos for Patreon, but Lamont Roach posted a video recently on...
Roach went into the first fight with a clear plan. He took advantage of Davis's slow reactions and fading energy in the later rounds. These weren't random, they were parts of Roach's strategy. His success exposed real concerns about Davis's conditioning now. Fans are watching to see if Davis has fixed those issues or if Roach will use the same plan to win. Again,
I don't know if Lamont Roach exposed weaknesses of Tank Davis. It very much reminds me of Rolly Romero versus Ryan Garcia. What Roach did, Rolly was doing the same thing. He ended up implementing it better against Ryan Garcia. Tank was having huge issues, and that's the Black Two Sugars. Watch me call that fight. I started laughing. I couldn't believe it because all he was patient with good power. All Roach was patient. He stayed focused. That's why him drinking and partying and shit is messing with me, because he beat him here. He stayed so damn focused. And he knew when Tank was going to punch. He knew when not to punch. And when he countered Tank, he rocked Tank. Tank got rocked at least twice that fight.
Some boxing experts think Roach's success wasn't entirely due to skill. They say grease in Davis's eyes, not a clean punch, threw off his balance and vision. That moment helped shift the public's view of the fight. But insiders argue it wasn't as one-sided as it looked. Now, Davis is training hard, aiming to come back stronger both in sight and in performance to show the world the real GervontaDavis.
People keep saying like Lamont dang near like beat Tank like clean, like basically like we seen it, like yeah, he did Tank that one, but like Tank was limping out the ring. Bro, he didn't even get over on Tank for real. Y'all only saying that because Tank took the knee. And when Tank took the knee, it wasn't how like Ryan Garcia was when he took the knee once Tank went to his body. It was like, dang, like I'm taking him to get right back up. Can you do that in boxing? No. But y'all can't say that basically that, oh yeah, he won because of the knee. That shows that people just want to see Tank lose, bruh. Cause y'all betting y'all money on basically Tank losing because of that knee. Yes, it was a good fight. Yes, I'm not gonna lie. Lamont was defending himself like he's skilled. But bro, he ain't walk all over Tank. Tank, bro, if y'all go back and watch the highlights, I just watched the highlights last night.